My name is Robert Rings and I'm the owner of Alpena Flour Mill and Olde Mill Coffee. Born and raised in Alpena, here my entire life other than an 8-year stint in the Navy. I left Alpena and I went to the Navy. I had no plans of ever moving back to Alpena. Got out after 8 years, came home, and my two oldest were little at that time, so I pretty much raised them here. I collect Alpena history items, and I have for going on 15 years. I was on eBay and somebody was selling 3 old flour bags from here for like $10. I bought them and I was thinking, well, what's going on with the old flour mill? I looked it up, it was for sale, and I said to my wife, hey, you interested in doing a family business? She said, sure, let's go look at it. So I made an appointment with the realtor, we came and looked at it, fell in love with the place, and when we got home that evening, we made an offer that evening. And it turns out that was November 15th of 2019, which wasn't on purpose, but it was my dad's birthday. It was 2 weeks after that we closed on it, and shortly after, we all know what happened after 2019, COVID hit. So my wife and I were like, great, what do we do now? So for the next 18 months, we pretty much cleaned up the property. There was lots of junk around the building, in the basement, and I'm pretty good at pointing out the difference between good junk and junk, and it was junk. But then in 2021, I left my job permanently at the hospital and came here and started this full-time August 2021 all the way until July of 24. It took almost 3 full years of 7 days a week. Other than holidays and 2 vacations, I was doing this. No water, no sewer, no heating, no insulation. Essentially, if you went to a farmer's barn and said, hey, I want to make that into a coffee shop, and then they laugh at you because of the amount of work it would take. Before we even closed on it, we knew what we wanted to do for in here, the tin, because this building is 110 years old. I didn't want to put a bunch of extra weight on a 110-year-old roof, so we knew we were going to do tin in here from the very beginning. So as soon as anything popped up for a decent price, we were in the truck and on our way and going and get it. So a lot of this tin came from West Branch, out in Bolton. I didn't know there used to be a Bolton Hardware. This tin is about 60 hours worth of work. And all the lumber on the walls was locally harvested, but it was milled by the Amish in Mayo. And I came across that by chance. And I believe we're the only coffee shop in Northeast Michigan that roasts in-house. So our roaster is an AJ Deere Royal No. 5. It was produced in Hornell, New York, and that company was in existence from about 1905 to the Great Depression, so about 1934. They ultimately went bankrupt during the Great Depression because they couldn't make their banknote. So all their assets were liquidated during the Great Depression. So shipping fresh coffee, roasted coffee, didn't happen. But you could ship green coffee and roast it and still have a decent cup. So lots of you general stores would buy those, roast in-house, and to sell to their customers. But once shipping got more prominent, a lot of those roasters got thrown out the back door. Luckily, the one that we have is one of only 4 known to exist. They came from a museum in Chicago, and they're always kept indoors. And I'm currently the only one roasting on one. And many times when they do roast in-house, they have the roaster hidden in some back room and you never get to see it. Ours is very beautiful and I wanted you to see it. So that's why it's right inside the window, kind of like a Mackinac Island feel where you can watch your fudge being made. If you come here when I'm roasting coffee, you can see the machine running. The entire neighborhood will smell like you're roasting coffee. I'm walking in the door anywhere between 5:15 and 5:25 to fire the espresso machine up, turn the oven on so it can heat up, start doing the baked goods. The boys roll in about 6 a.m. and they start setting up the coffee bar and getting the lights on and getting everything going for 6 a.m. So we're open at 6 a.m. I may not have baked goods ready at 6 a.m., but the coffee will be hot and ready to go. In '93, this place was slated to be bulldozed, and Jim and Maureen Nadeau purchased it to build cedar furniture in. And they literally saved it from the bulldozer, and Marie did all the historic research to get the historic marker from the state of Michigan, which isn't easy. They don't give those away. My whole life it's been in and out of my dad's businesses. We both had a restaurant together. It was in the Harborside Mall in the early to mid 90s, probably about 93, 95. We did that for a couple years, but then a couple years later he opened up Hokey's Grill and Coffee Shop where John Boy's is at now. So I generally purchase from one company called Genuine Origin, contract directly with the farmers. They actually have representatives that go to the various farms around the world, and they contract directly with the farmers. I only buy the most recent harvest. I don't buy poor quality. I always buy the highest quality stuff they have. So, you know, our prices for coffee are a touch higher, but you're getting a very high quality coffee. So we do our best to do as much compostable, biodegradable as possible. And all of our coffee cups are compostable, biodegradable, and all of our coffee bags are. They're made with plant-based plastic liners instead of petroleum-based. So that's, you know, they cost more, but it gives you a little bit of peace of mind when you're trying to do something to help the massive amount of waste out there. Expect a lot of work, and don't listen to the naysayers because they're everywhere. The naysayers are generally the people that have never tried anything of their own.